going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scoreboard here on News Talk WSIC, your home for your local, regional, and national sports here in the Lake Norman area. Give us a call, 704-873-1400 if you have anything you'd like to talk about, anything on your mind. It's the sports show. You like sports? Give us a call. Let's talk about sports. 704-873-1400. Some Charlotte FC news. We had some baseball things happening. We have a few. We actually know now who is going to be in the home run derby in the MLB this year. So that is interesting. You know, the All-Star game for the MLB is coming up. It is next weekend, and you know, it's always one of the better times in baseball when you can have the All-Star game, the home run derby. You have the celebrities playing sometimes. I know that they always have the celebrity softball game around that time. So it's all in all a good time for Major League Baseball. So let's talk about some of the players that are going to be in the derby this year. We got obvious people going in there, like Randy Arozarena, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Mookie Betts is going to be in there, Pete Alonso, and then we got a couple of newbies. We got Adolis Garcia and Luis Robert Jr. I'm still mad that we're missing a name. We're missing Shohei Ohtani, and it's upsetting because Ohtani is easily the best hitter in baseball right now. Like we talked about yesterday, he's going to get a lot of money, guys. He's going to get a lot of money. But like we said, he is hurt. He won't be partaking in the home run derby. You know, there's actually somebody else that I would love to see in the home run derby. I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with the Cincinnati Reds this year. They haven't been good. Really, the only noteworthy player that they've had for the past, 5 years has been Joey Votto, and Joey Votto is getting up there in age, but he's probably the nicest baseball player there is. He's Canadian. He's got to be nice. So, but there was an issue last night in the Reds game with Elly De La Cruz. Elly De La Cruz is a rookie for the Reds. He's amazing. He's really good. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't in the home run derby this year. Mostly because, well, he's having a great year. He's got over 20 home runs. The Reds are in first place. They're doing good. And there was an issue with the knob of his bat. There was like a little piece of plastic at the bottom of his bat. I guess it's for better grip without having to use pine tar or put pine tar on your batting gloves. Obviously with the way the MLB has been cracking down on foreign substances, I wouldn't be surprised if even the position players and batters are not using pine tar as much anymore because they don't want to, accidentally touch the pitcher and then he gets checked and he gets thrown out of the game because it's an automatic 10-game suspension when you get ejected for a foreign substance. But De La Cruz had something on his bat. It was like a little piece of plastic that makes the knob of the bat a little bit bigger. And it was funny because in the second inning, the Nationals had the umpires do a check on his bat. And in the fifth inning, well, we know what happens, right? I'm sure that you know what I'm going to say is about to happen because De La Cruz hit an absolute bomb. And here's how it sounded.
De La Cruz trying to add to it. He crushes. Upper deck right center. Take that 94. Now remember earlier in the game there was dispute over the knob of De La Cruz's bat and he points at it.
He takes his bat after hitting a bomb in the fifth inning, looks the Washington dugout up and down, and points at the knob of his bat as if to say, yeah, you're going to have him check again? I just hit another home run, and there's nothing you can do about that. I just hit a home run. The umpire said it was legal. And all it is like a little, I think it's got to be for grip, or maybe it makes the butt of the bat a little bit wider so that your hand doesn't slip. And slipping hands is an issue in the MLB. We've seen bats go flying into the crowd multiple times. I don't think that's a big issue, but if he's had problems with that in the past, it could be one of the reasons that he has this piece. And the umpires took maybe 5 minutes. Like, it was a long break where they were trying to figure out exactly what was on his bat, because it is legal to have, but what you don't want is to have something that's too big on that bat so that you can't, you're going to have something way too big that's not legal, and then the umpire will throw you out. You're going to get suspended. It's going to be a whole big thing. People are going to accuse you of being a cheater. But here's what De La Cruz had to say after the game.
Yeah, it's something that we use in spring training. It's just a sensor that we use, but there it's just the plastic that covers the bat, right? There's nothing else besides that. So I started using it back in 2021. I just felt more comfortable using that, and from there on out, I asked for more of those plastic shells, and sure enough, I just felt more comfortable at the plate at night. But it doesn't give like any advantage to me or anything like that.
And I don't disagree with him that it doesn't give him an advantage, because if you're watching the stream on Facebook or YouTube, I put up the video of the umpires taking a look at it just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. How it has that it's a little plastic covering that goes over the bat, and he says he's been using it for a while and he's comfortable with it. I don't see it being a problem, but the thing is, if you are the other team and you see how well the Reds are doing this year, there's no reason for it. The Reds were terrible. They had like 40 wins last year. It was a abysmal season, and they're leading the division. They have a chance to make the playoffs this year, and that division's been so weird because the Pirates were leading early in the year, and then they had like a 10-game losing streak at the end of May, beginning June, and they haven't been anything since then. And now the Reds are taking control of that division, and they're starting to run away with it. I don't know if there's a runaway and hide type feel to this, because it's still early July. But if you take a look at the standings and see how it's going, Cincinnati has a 2-game lead over Milwaukee. They're looking good in the wild card. There's really no concern with if they were to fall out of leading that division, would they, not get a wild card? I don't think so. I think they're pretty solid in the wild card right now. But it's just interesting because, baseball, like I said last time, you can have a really, really, really bad year, and then starting next year, you can turn it all around in the blink of an eye. But we're going to go take a quick break here. We got much more in store for you. Again, if you'd like to be a part of the show, 704-873-1400. I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Stay up to date with the latest in your community, state, and nation. WSIC News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Lights, camera, Birkdale. At 7:30 this Saturday evening, celebrate Christmas in July at Birkdale by watching The Grinch. It's a 2018 animated version. Bring the whole family out this weekend to Birkdale and Huntersville for movie night. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Does your child enjoy doing arts and crafts? Come create a state symbol at Iredell County's Public Library. The Summer Kids Camp will be hosting this program on Monday, July 10th from 10 to 11 a.m. Designed for children ages 6 to 11, bring them out to the Iredell County Public Library on North Trad Street on Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. No registration is required. Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius has released their upcoming fall schedule. Some of the acts include comedian Jeff Allen and the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. For the full schedule, visit them online at canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. 2023 is the year of the trail. Cornelius is challenging community members to visit all 9 greenways between now and the fall. Each trail has a station where you can check in to verify you have visited each of the trails. Visit all 9 and you will receive a swag bag from the town of Cornelius. To find out more, visit cornelius.org or contact the town of Cornelius's Parks and Rec Department. The Huntersville Growers Market is open each Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Huntersville Growers Market is hosted at Veterans Park in downtown Huntersville. Want to be a vendor at the Huntersville Growers Market? Visit huntersville.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Dan Sutton with your WSIC forecast. For tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 70 and light southwest winds around 5 miles per hour. Friday will have a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high near 91 and light and variable wind becoming north around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. New rainfall amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch, except higher amounts possible in thunderstorms.
Good morning. Enjoy that morning coffee with Justin Kazepis.
Hope, how we doing this morning?
You know, it was a little rough period there, but I'm getting my happiness back, and you're absolutely helping.
It's Good Morning LKN, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on WSIC.
The #1 news station for Lake Norman and Statesville. News Talk WSIC.
We are back. Scoreboard. News Talk WSIC. If you're watching, you definitely just saw me get up and go over to the thermostat because yet again, we come back from break. I take a look. I'm like, it's a little hot in here. And it's 78 degrees in here. What is this all about? I can't survive in 78 degrees in the studio. We got so much electric going on in here. It's hot enough as it is. I don't know who's pranking me. I think I know who's pranking me, though. But we're going to keep moving on. It's funny. I just got a text from somebody that I know personally who wants to call in and talk sports. And it's like, cool. Yeah, I love talking sports. That's what the show is for. But this particular person wants to talk about college sailing, and I just don't want to put my audience through that. It's just, I know nothing. I'm sure my audience knows nothing about sailing. There's nothing against sailing. It's cool. You know, you hold on to the stuff and like lean over and like, I don't know, ropes and whatnot. I don't know. We're not talking about sailing though. Come on now. And I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying. I'm sparing the audience of this show having to sit through sailing conversations because, man, that'd be brutal. But welcome back to the Scoreboard here on News Talk WSIC. Phone number 704-873-1400. I really hope it starts cooling down in this studio soon because it is hot. Anyway, when we went to break, we were talking a little bit about Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds. We're going to switch gears here from the MLB because last night Charlotte FC played, and there's a couple of MLS things that I want to talk about with not only the Charlotte FC team, but there was a game in the Rose Bowl stadium between the LA Galaxy and LAFC. It was the highest attended MLS game in the history of MLS. And you might say, wait a second, we just heard that like not too long ago. Yes, you're correct. When Charlotte FC had their very first game, they broke the record for attendance. It was right around 70,000 people. Well, LAFC and the LA Galaxy had 80,000 people at the game watching. That's 10,000 more people, and it broke the record. That's insane to me because it's 10,000 more people. And Charlotte had the record beforehand. They had 74,000. So it was 10,000 more. They were around 84,000. And not to mention that with that being said, we're going to pivot to talk a little bit about Charlotte FC here. They played last night. They played NYC FC. They had a great goal early, but unfortunately, Mackenzie Gaines was the goal scorer for Charlotte FC, by the way, in case you weren't aware. But unfortunately, Charlotte gave up the equalizer late in the game. In the 81st minute, NYC FC tied the game, and that's how it ended, in a 1-1 draw. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, Charlotte has just been getting in so many draws recently. What is that all about? So I pull up their schedule and I'm like, I know this is weird. Like, what is it about this? Charlotte FC, going back to, let's see, we're going to go all the way back to May 27th. Charlotte hasn't won a game since May 27th. They lost 2, and then their last 4 games, the last 4 Charlotte FC games have ended in a draw. Oh my goodness. And it's not like a 0-0 draw. They scored 3, they scored 2, they scored 1. They're scoring, they can score, but something about Charlotte FC, they just can't hold on and win the games. And it's turning into a trend where Charlotte will score early, they'll get a lead, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like they kind of get lulled to sleep because they're a good team. They don't dominate teams, but they usually play better than their opponent, which is just, it's frustrating when you're watching a team outplay their opponent, especially your local team, outplay their opponent, and guess what happens? They lose because they just kind of can't figure it out on defense, whatever it is. I don't know, but a very unfortunate end to the game last night. Charlotte is home on Saturday. They are back at Bank of America Stadium. They'll be taking on Cincinnati at 7:30. And I'm really hoping that they can pull it together because there's nothing better than being at the game for Charlotte FC. And if you've been to a game, you definitely know this because it happens every time they score. Whenever Charlotte FC scores, and this might be an MLS thing, this might be a soccer thing. I know in like Europe this is huge, but I've never like actually seen it in person. But man, when Charlotte FC scores, the beer goes flying. Flying. I would hate to be in the supporter section during that because my goodness, you're going to be drenched, you're going to be smelly, you're going to get pulled over on the way home and they're going to be like, "Why do you smell so bad?" It's just, it looks fun in the moment. Like in the moment, team scores, yeah, throw the beer around, but like what happens if they score in the first minute? And then you have to spend 90 minutes plus halftime just covered in beer? It doesn't sound appealing to me. But maybe I'm just not fun. I don't know. If anybody has been to the game and been in the supporter section, give us a call. Let me know how it is. Maybe I'll make my way down there and get covered in beer. You know, me personally, though, I'd prefer not to. Just because, you know, I like to be a little clean, you know. If you get beer on you, it's all sticky. It's just not, I don't want to do it. I like watching it happen. Don't get me wrong. Watching it happen is hilarious because the beer goes flying. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's happy. There's fireworks going off. And well, guess what? Now I just lost my $10 beer, and I'm wet, and I gotta go get another one. And what happens if you get another one and you get a full beer and they score right away? Are you gonna throw that one too? That's 2 wasted beers. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. Okay. I mean, I am not knocking anybody who likes it. I'm just saying, I like to be clean. But Charlotte FC doing okay in the standings, currently sitting in 10th. 6 wins, 7 draws, 8 losses for 25 points. 28 goals for, 36 goals against. I mean, they're middle of the road right now. They're winning, they're losing, and they're drawing. And those 4 draws in a row did not help their situation. But it's a long season left. I mean, the MLS season is one of the longer ones. It goes all the way to October, the end of October, when Inter Miami will be in town. And man, I know everybody's looking forward to Inter Miami being in town. Messi's gonna be here. If you're not excited to go watch Lionel Messi play, you probably don't watch soccer. And that's about all I can think to say about that, because Messi is, number one, he's a worldwide icon. And number two, even in his late 30s, mid 30s, he is top tier. And we should be thankful if we're, just as general sports fans, we should be thanking Lionel Messi, because he had an offer for like $700 million to go play in Saudi Arabia, which is where Cristiano Ronaldo went. If we're keeping up with that, Ronaldo took a lot of money. I don't know the exact number on him, but he took a lot of money to go play in Saudi Arabia, and they were offering Messi the same type of thing. Give you $700 million over a few years, come play soccer with us and help us ease the pain of our past. Well, Messi wanted no part of that. He comes to the MLS, which is the retirement home for all great European soccer players. Even though he's not European, he's South American. He's still coming to the retirement home, and he's going to play with Inter Miami, which is cool because Inter Miami is a bad team. They are the worst team in MLS right now. And their owner is somebody who you might have heard of before. You know, we're looking at a great day when Inter Miami comes into town, okay? Because not only is Messi going to be here, but you know who else is going to be here? Who's like just a wonderful, wonderful person? David Beckham. David Beckham's going to be here. You know why? I'm assuming he's going to watch his team play. He owns Inter Miami. He's the one that got the deal done. David Beckham, legendary soccer player, or should I call it football? I don't think people would like that. If I started calling soccer football and football American football, I don't think people would like that. We're not going to do that. We're going to call it we're going to call it soccer. And it's just going to be how it is. I'm not calling it football because we have American football. That's football. But David Beckham will be here when Messi is here, I'm assuming. And it's going to be interesting because it's the last game of the year. The Upper Bowl is going to be open in Charlotte right before Halloween, like a week before Halloween, 6 o'clock game. It's going to be beautiful, but I'm excited. And hopefully Charlotte FC by the end of the year is on a little bit of a better roll here. And they can put something together to have a really good end of the year and close it out well. But we have another break coming up. That's half the show over. We'll see you when we're back. Stay tuned on News Talk WSIC.
Local and North Carolina news now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. News Talk Now.
I'm Mike Jackson, WSIC News. Local husband and wife entrepreneurs Brent and Amy Holderman have signed a multi-unit development deal with Serotonin Centers, the nation's first and only anti-aging longevity franchise to bring 5 locations to the Charlotte area over the next 3 years. Serotonin Centers provides clients with a customized roadmap for lifelong wellness journeys focusing on hormone restoration, aesthetic enhancement, weight control, and immunity recovery. And a man has been arrested and charged with murder after a 5-year-old and 15-year-old were shot and killed in Durham Wednesday afternoon, according to police. And a man was arrested and charged with murder after a 5-year-old and 15-year-old were shot and killed in Durham Wednesday afternoon, according to police. The 2 girls were taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The 5-year-old was pronounced dead at the hospital. Brian Lester, 42, of Durham, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. WSIC weather, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms through Saturday night, partly cloudy overnight with a low around 71, mostly sunny Friday with a high near 90. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 70. Mike Jackson, WSIC News.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Welcome to a Bible Minute with Pastor Randy Mitchell from Temple Baptist Church in Statesville.
I recently watched a precious little 5-year-old girl play kickball for the very first time. On her first time up, she kicked the ball about 10 feet toward the pitcher. Everyone is screaming, "Run to first base!" A girl picks up the ball and throws it towards her. Accidentally, the ball hits her square in the face. Now the ball is soft and wasn't thrown very hard, but the shock instantly brings the little girl to tears. Not knowing what to do, she runs to her teacher, who takes her into her arms for comfort. Folks, we all experience similar things in life. We get hurt, we get scared, we get in shock when bad things happen. The book of Hebrews says, "Come boldly into the throne of grace that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need." When you're hurt or scared, run to the Lord.
Thanks for listening to a Bible Minute with Pastor Randy Mitchell here on WSIC.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See
and
terms
the
and
pitch
learn
hit on the
more at
ground in the second.
discover.com/match.
And he boots it. Flip the short one on the into the crowd.
Of course,
and so Volpe will go second base.
Then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it,
So
I use
it would have
Magic
been a
Eraser
double play,
sheets.
but the
They're
second
thin
baseman
and flexible
Frazier
erasers,
bobbled it.
perfect for everyday
was able to
messes,
get the
like
runner
dunk
in
on my
second.
counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion Service Departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Do you own a small business and want to know the value of your business? You need the real deal. Joe at jvagnone.com. That's Joe at jvagnone.com. It's time for you to know the value of your business.
NC Representative Jeff McNeely.
The overrode Governor Cooper's veto of our omnibus gun bill, Second Amendment bill.
Taking care of Iredell.
Actually took care of some loopholes in my opinion.
Monday and Saturday mornings at 11. News Talk WSIC.
What a day. Thursday afternoon here on News Talk WSIC. This is the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Joe Berg. And if you'd like to call in, be a part of the show, you have something you want to talk about, 704-873-1400. Again, 704-873-1400. Lots more to get to today. I want to go back to baseball because there's a couple of things still going on. It's really the only major sport going on right now. As we talked about yesterday, all the major sports, for the most part, are in their off season. Football, hockey, basketball. We have soccer, we have baseball, and we have little stuff in between. If you did not watch baseball yesterday, I feel bad for you, and I implore you to go back and listen to the first segment of the show where we talked about Elly De La Cruz hitting a home run right after having his bat checked and then pointing to the Nationals dugout as if to say, yeah, check it again. You're not gonna find anything. There was another thing that happened yesterday. Not as funny. Actually, nowhere. It's not funny at all. In the game for the Yankees and the Orioles, cameraman Pete Stendel was hit by an errant throw by the shortstop. And if you've seen it, and I'm not going to play this one because it would be way too long, because it takes them a while to figure out, hey, this guy just got hit by a ball that the shortstop threw. But if you watched it and saw what happened, it was pretty gnarly. Now, he was okay. They stretched him off. He gave a thumbs up as he went off the field, but the update that the Yes Network gave us was that Pete suffered an orbital fracture, and he is now at home resting. So very unfortunate, and it makes me think about the state of baseball right now and the safety initiative that they've been going through, because if you remember 2-3 years ago, there was a real issue with pulled balls down the line going foul, going straight into the crowd and striking people who aren't paying attention. Now, me personally, I don't think they should have extended the nets, which is what they ended up doing. They put more mesh netting all the way down the foul pole in most stadiums. And I'm watching this one and I'm trying to figure out, is there no mesh there? Is it just kind of and it makes sense not to have the mesh there, I guess, because you don't really want to be taking photos or videos through that. But is this going to become a thing where MLB sees this and they overreact the way that they always do? I don't think so, because it was such a freak moment. I haven't seen a cameraman get struck in the head with a ball. I can maybe think of one other time that I've seen it, but just a really, really unfortunate situation there in the Yankees-Orioles game. And the Orioles, they came back and won that game last night, so they continue to have a great year, trying to chase down the Tampa Bay Rays, who are leading right now the AL East. Only 5 games back. They're 3 games up in the wild card, the Baltimore Orioles are, which is nice, to have that, but it's going to be a good race in the AL East to see who can take that crown. But let's talk a little bit more baseball, because we've talked about it. The All-Star Game is coming up, and the Home Run Derby is coming up. We talked a little bit about some of the players that are going to be in the Home Run Derby, like Vlad Guerrero Jr., but I just want to go through the All-Star roster real quick and let you know how tragic it is that some of these players that we're going to see are going to be reserves, because Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez, Shane McClanahan, all out for the All-Star Game, and Clayton Kershaw also. Man, that hurts. That hurts baseball. And Ohtani, he was supposed to pitch. Now, he's going to be there. I'm assuming he's going to hit still, which is what it sounds like he's going to do. But he's not going to pitch, which is really unfortunate, because the All-Star Game, like I said, it's when Major League Baseball can really, really figure out how the changes that they've implemented this year have been. Because the All-Star Game is supposed to be fun, right? And for the most part, the All-Star Game is a watched event. People watch the MLB All-Star Game. They watch the Home Run Derby. I know I personally make it a point to watch the Celebrity Softball Game. It's always fun to see that. But if they don't have their stars, And Mike Trout is a star. Aaron Judge is a star. Clayton Kershaw is a star for baseball. Even Yordan Alvarez in Houston. But if they don't have these guys playing, it's going to hurt. I don't care who you replace them with. It's going to hurt because fans want to see the best. And now I'm going to still watch the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were people around the U.S. who are just casual baseball fans who hear, oh, Mike Trout isn't playing. Oh, Shohei Ohtani's not going to be pitching. Judge is hurt. Man, nobody's playing. Nobody's playing, which is a lie because you have all these other incredible players like the guys who are going to be in the home run derby. Vlad Guerrero, you have Whit Merrifield, Bo Bichette out of Toronto. Garrett Cole made it from the Yankees. It's just sad to see the All-Star game kind of get dwindled down. And it's not like the NFL Pro Bowl, which is a completely different monster to talk about because, number one, nobody wants to play in the Pro Bowl, it seems like, in the NFL. And number two, it's after the season where after most of the teams are done, right before the Super Bowl, and it just feels like different. You know, nobody wants to go to the Pro Bowl. The All-Star game is something that I don't really think many people say no to it. It's fun. It's a one game thing. You're not going to play a lot. You're not going to play 9 innings. But when you compare the two, it's just interesting to see how the NFL, man, they changed their entire Pro Bowl last season to that flag football game. What a fiasco that was, huh? Flag football for your Pro Bowl? And I don't even remember who it was. The Ravens quarterback was a starter for the Pro Bowl team. Huh? Not Lamar. But I think it's funny. Maybe if the NFL went back to Hawaii for their All-Star game or for the Pro Bowl, people would want to, play in it again because it seems like that was a big draw to be able to go to a destination place like Hawaii and play some football. But the All-Star game for the MLB is going to be fun. I feel really bad for fans of baseball who aren't going to be able to see these top tier players because it's when you watch the All-Star game, you can just tell that the talent level on this team is different. It's not like watching a normal game. They're having fun, yeah, but even in having fun, the talent level is insane. And the last couple of years, the All-Star game hasn't been terrible. It's been a good event. And I think MLB really needs to capitalize on not only people enjoying the event and enjoying the home run derby, but the way that the rule changes, like the bigger bases, the pitch clock, no more shifts. I'm curious to see how that goes in the All-Star game. Maybe they just kind of throw that out and say, yeah, if you want to shift, you can shift. It's the All-Star game. Who really cares? Kind of like how a couple of years ago when Ohtani first became a All-Star, when he pitched and they made a special rule for him to where, okay, you pitched in the All-Star game, but we want you out there playing. So they allowed him to become a batter and basically become the DH of the game. I don't think they're going to do anything like that with the rules, like getting rid of the pitch clock, but it's definitely going to be interesting to watch. But one more segment when we come back from commercial break. Again, this is the Scoreboard on News Talk WSIC. I'm your host, Joe Berg, and I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Take your favorite WSIC shows with you anytime by going to WSIC News wherever you get your podcasts.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Lights, Camera, Birkdale. At 7:30 this Saturday evening, celebrate Christmas in July at Birkdale by watching The Grinch. It's a 2018 animated version. Bring the whole family out this weekend to Birkdale and Huntersville for movie night. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Does your child enjoy doing arts and crafts? Come create a state symbol at Iredell County Public Library. The Summer Kids Camp will be hosting this program on Monday, July 10th from 10 to 11 a.m. Designed for children ages 6 to 11, bring them out to the Iredell County Public Library on North Trad Street on Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. No registration is required. Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius has released their upcoming fall schedule. Some of the acts include comedian Jeff Allen and the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. For the full schedule, visit them online at canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org.
Cautious of three putting, given the speed of this putt. Runs away down to the left side of the green. Looks like he's judged it nicely. Oh!
To verify you have visited each of the trails. Visit all 9 and you will receive a swag bag from the town of Cornelius. To find out more, visit cornelius.org.
Meanwhile, we go over to 14 for Jonas Blix.
Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Huntersville Growers Market is hosted at Veterans Park in downtown Huntersville. Want to be a vendor at the Huntersville Growers Market? Visit huntersville.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Hi, this is Andy with Lake Mountain Coffee, located at 110 West Broad Street in Statesville. Many of you probably know us from our large coffee house downtown, but did you know we're also the owners of Statesville's first and only coffee roasting facility? We purchase coffee beans from around the world, bring them right here to Statesville, roast them in our facility for our customers around the region. Why would you go to a grocery store, purchase old coffee beans off the shelf, or any other source when you can have fresh roasted beans at Lake Mountain Coffee? 131 West Broad Street in Statesville.
The Statesville Family YMCA is gearing up for pickleball. Come enjoy this popular game weekdays from 9 to 11 a.m. If the weather is too bad for kids attending summer camp to be outside, pickleball will be canceled. The Statesville Family YMCA, 828 Wesley Avenue.
All the news, one station. News Talk WSIC.
And we are back for the final segment. Woo! What a day. It's a good one today. And if you've been watching golf today, you might have heard somebody that I haven't heard of before. But then again, I'm a little too young to be watching golf that much. But we have an awesome putt to show you. A 43-footer from current leader of the John Deere Classic, Jonas Blix. Let's go ahead and hear that.
To be a little cautious of three putting, given the speed of this putt. Runs away down to the left side of the green. Looks like he's judged it nicely. Oh! Forget three putting.
Jonas Blix with an eagle at 14.
An eagle at 14, and I think it's funny. I love golf calls because they're always so quiet about it. Just and here comes Jonas, and he's gonna go ahead and oh my God, he just put in an eagle. Wow, fascinating. He's leading currently the John Deere Classic. He is up. He's at -9. They might need to make that course a little harder. A -9? That's birdieing half the holes. And obviously he got one eagle, so come on. I feel like golf, for the most part, the majors are really what people care about because watching somebody shoot a -9 on day one, man. But you have some big events coming up. You have the Open Championship, the Wyndham Championship. These are all later in the year, but it's going to be interesting. I wonder if Jonas is going to be able to keep it up. But hey, good for him. Jonas going ahead and getting that 9 under. We're still waiting for one person to finish. They're still golfing right now. Grayson Murray is on the 18th. So hopefully he finishes up soon because, man, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'd want to go to bed. But obviously, I know TPC Deer Run, it's not on Eastern time, unfortunately. It's 1 hour back. So, but still, it's 5:50 there, almost 6 o'clock. That's about time to lay down and get ready for bed. That's late. And real quick, this is not sports related, but I just need to vent because it's 6:50 right now. And if I looked outside, it would be so bright out there and the sun is up and it's hot. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I can't wait for when the time changes again and the days get shorter and you go outside at 5 o'clock and it's just pitch black out there. That's the best. A little bit of a tangent there, but come on, you can't tell me that you enjoy the sun being up from 6 in the morning to 9 at night. That's just not okay. That's too much sun. Go away. I want to sleep. Anyway, TPC Deere Run, that'll be going on through Sunday for the John Deere Classic. Anything to look forward to tonight? I mean, we have baseball, obviously. We have soccer is not on tonight, but we do have baseball. There's nothing else really going on in the world of sports today. I know, for one, that I'll be watching some baseball because it's good this year. And if you haven't watched baseball yet this year, I really, really, really implore you to go watch it because the changes that they've made, like I've said, I keep saying, the changes they've made, go, just watch, just put it on TV. It's good to watch again. It's not what it once was where we said, oh man, I'm going to watch a baseball game for 3.5 hours and it's going to be terrible. No, that's not that anymore. Games are averaging about 2 hours, 45 minutes now, which is interesting because when you think of the difference between being at a baseball game and watching a baseball game at home, they cut you off from beer sales at a certain point. Now, I haven't been to a baseball game with these new rules where the games are shorter and people aren't there for 3.5, 4 hours. So I'm just trying to think, I wonder if they're cutting people off at a certain inning now, or if it's a time thing, because man, if you go into a baseball game and it only lasts 2.5 hours, you're not going to be able to get to the concession stand that much. And is this going to eat into the profits of owners? Are they going to get less revenue because games are faster and people aren't getting up to go get their hot dogs and their beer and their nachos and whatnot? I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought that I have. But let's, real quick, before we get out of here for the day, let's talk a little bit about football. Everybody's favorite, football. Because I think this year, the Panthers, they're going to be not too great. It seems like all the players are enjoying their time in their preseason camps and whatnot, but I just don't see it. I do not see a good year this year for the Panthers with a first-year head coach, a rookie quarterback, an okay team. You traded your number one wide receiver. You traded your number one running back. The defense has been lackluster. Do we have... I wish that I could get a gauge on this audience and whoever's listening to this show. I'm curious what people think a realistic year for the Panthers would be this year, because it is the NFC South, okay? And the NFC South, not the best. Everybody's got a new quarterback except for the Falcons. They have Desmond Ridder still, who started the second half of the year for them. But I'm just curious, do the fans in the area think that the Panthers are going to be good this year? Do they expect another top 5, top 10 draft pick? I can't see the Panthers doing more than 7-10 this year, and I think that's being generous. 7 wins in 17 games is generous, in my opinion. But I don't know. If you want to call and let me know what you think about the Panthers this year, we got about 4 minutes left or so. 704-873-1400, because it hasn't been good since Cam Newton left. when they went 15-1, went to the Super Bowl. Cam was the MVP, but then they ran into that red-hot Broncos defense. And unfortunately, there was nothing the Panthers could do. But it's been all bad since then. I can't really think of one positive that the Panthers have done in the past few years, even down to Tepper Entertainment takeover and the new practice facility that they were supposed to be building in Rock Hill, which was going to be a practice facility. It was going to have apartment complexes, some office buildings, some new roads in the area. And they said, no, we're not doing it. Sorry. I think what happened was Tepper got, somebody didn't hold up their end of the bargain. That's what I think happened, because the city of Rock Hill said that they would pay a certain amount. Tepper said he would pay a certain amount. I just think somebody didn't pay their fair share, and I don't think that somebody was David Tepper. But it's really just been all bad for the Panthers recently, and it was cool. I guess it was cool watching them have the number 1 overall pick because, hey, it's the number 1 overall pick in the draft. You got a lot of hope. You got a new quarterback, Bryce Young, who weighs 180 pounds and needs to really, really fight hard to get out of a wet paper bag. I just don't see it. But 704-873-1400. I really think that if the Panthers do this correctly, if they build this team out correctly, Bryce Young can be a serviceable quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be Patrick Mahomes. He could be like a Derek Carr type, and I have no problem with Derek Carr. He's a solid quarterback. Derek Carr is a guy that I would have loved to see without an injury, because once he broke his leg and missed the playoffs, 2016, 17, somewhere around there, when he broke his leg, he changed as a quarterback. He was really promising, and I'm just hoping Bryce Young can, with that 180-pound frame that he has, I'm just really hoping that he'll be able to put on a little bit of muscle and be able to take these hits from 350-pound linemen. It's different than college for Bryce Young. It's going to be a lot different. And I do not expect a great year. And I wouldn't. If you are a fan of the Panthers, please try not to get your hopes up too much. The first 2 games that the Panthers have this year could be okay. You might start off 2-0. I mean, you have the Falcons and the Saints. That's very, very winnable football games. But then you kind of get thrown into a gauntlet here with the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Dolphins. Those are all good teams. I don't care what anybody says about the Lions. The Lions are a good team, and if you remember, they almost made the playoffs last year, and Dan Campbell is a heck of a coach. But it's going to be tough for the Panthers this year. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm hoping that they can build week to week and just look a little bit better and a little bit better. And if Bryce Young can look a little bit better and not have too many turnovers, it'll be all right for them, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. We're getting down to the end of the show here. I will be here tomorrow again, same time, same place. And as I'm sitting here trying to figure out what in the world is going on with the system here, because I don't hear any music. I'm supposed to have outro music. I'm hoping this thing cuts me off in about 20 seconds. I don't have outro music, but we're working through it. It's a new week here at WSIC. If you've been a long-time listener, you know things have been a little bit different here recently. But we'll see. It should be a fun time. That's all the time for today. Everybody have a good one, and I will see you next week.
3.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.
I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. U.S. Central Command says Russian jets have harassed U.S. drones over Syria again.
The Russian jets dropped multiple parachute flares in front of the U.S. drones, forcing the pilots to conduct evasive maneuvers. Then, according to CENTCOM, one Russian